Hi everyone. Welcome to this week's What Sold video. This is going to cover the remainder of December, so the 22nd until the 31st of December, that last week and a half. So we're going to get started on Mercari. We sold this pair of Torrid leggings, and this was like a bit of retail arbitrage. I think I paid about $5 for these and they sold for 30. They were brand new with tags. They were size 1X. And the good thing about Mercari is that the seller's fees are really low. So we only paid $363 in fees and our total profit was somewhere probably around like $21 maybe for these, which was pretty good. And then this pair of Carol satin panties. I bought three of these from that warehouse where we get the vintage Carol and Vermont Country Store items. I probably could have gotten about 15 for these. Like I said, I got three pairs, a pink, blue, and this beige. I do think the beige was probably a little less popular just because it wasn't like a fun color. But I had to keyword these a certain way to get these to sell. I think I only paid like $1 a pair for these, and it was just kind of like an experiment. They did sit for probably a couple months, but I mean, it wasn't too bad. They're lightweight, don't take up much space, and they sold for $12. So our total profit for Mercari for the last week and a half of the year was $29.56. Now we'll go over to Poshmark. In that week and a half, we only sold three things. It's been really slow on Poshmark lately, guys. It's just been slow really on all three platforms. But we sold this vintage Carol set again from that same warehouse, and it sold for $24. We only paid $2.14 after tax. Uh, these Torrid jeans sold for 20. Those would have just come from like a Goodwill for 448 after tax. And a pair of Athleta leggings, and these sold for 16. Our total profit on Poshmark was $39.25. And then lastly, we'll move over to eBay. Do we have, pretty sure we had three things, so let me see. Lucky, these. I don't know why those didn't end up saving. Yeah, this was on the 25th. Okay. This was a pair of cut from the cloth boot cut jeans, sold for 17.50. This men's anime shirt. This just came from the bin at Goodwill. That was like I think it was 213 after tax, and it sold for 10.50. And then this men's button-up plaid tops are 448 after tax at Goodwill, and it sold for 17.50. Our total profit on eBay was $24.65, which means our total profit for that last week and a half of December across all three platforms was 93.46, making our total profit for all of December 2025 $413.33. That is, oh, it's kind of crazy. Let me see if I can find December of last year. October, November, December of 2024, our profit was $1,198. So like 1,200 compared to 400, three times the amount. Isn't that insane? I don't know. I think there's a lot of reasons. I think me not posting any new items in December and probably November because I've been working my full-time overnight job. I think the switching up of algorithms with Poshmark, and I don't know about eBay. I can't remember if they switched up anything. I know that we stopped promoting. To be honest, I don't think it was doing that much. I didn't notice some huge jump in sales, and really only a few, like I'd say maybe half of the things that we sold were from promoted listings. The others were just found normally. Uh, I can't remember if Mercari did anything. I feel like a lot of those sites are changing things up constantly, but and Poshmark was just being funky with how they were changing things. I don't know. I don't know. I just hope 2026 is better because this was kind of a rough. month for reselling. But that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that your sales were maybe a little better than ours. And good luck to all of us in the month of January 2026. Okay, guys, I will see you next time. Bye.